Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising, welcome to your place for your frequencies, for your energy. Welcome to All Astrology. Here we're going to go over the energetic frequencies, the emanations, the rays, the power of the universe, and the knowledge that it gives. We're putting it from here to you, right into your hands, Capricorn. You are all about ambition, drive, going higher, about going up there and achieving responsibilities, duty, doing. This is for you, Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising. We're going to take a look at your December energies. We're also going to dip into January energies, the rest of your 2020 major frequencies, and then your 2021. So we've got an eclipse at the butt end of November. There's already a video out about that. I will include it below. It will give you the overarching energies and how that will affect us globally. Tons of nuggets of knowledge to take along and to add to this video. Go ahead and click on it below after you watch this video. Also include the detailed, the deep dive December energies for the December eclipse. So there's two eclipses, end of November, mid-December. But then mid-December, we have major movements from Saturn and Jupiter, changing signs. And Capricorn, you're going to love this. This intimately has to do with you. You're finally going to have Saturn leaving your sign. You're going to have Jupiter leaving your sign. They're going to be going into the next sign, which means they change a location in your life. And understanding where in your life, where is this going to happen, will tell us more what kind of waters you'll be navigating and what you can do to navigate intelligently, to move forward strategically. Capricorn Ascendant, Capricorn Rising, come on in, sit down, relax through your energetic frequencies. End of November, there's an eclipse. The eclipse at the end of November is 9 degrees Gemini energy. And so we're going to talk about the where this happens in your life. So if you are a person with a chart and you're following along, go to 9 degrees Gemini in your chart and you will see where that's happening. But if you don't have a chart, I will tell you the information, because knowing the where it happens in your chart, like charts literally have numbers, that tells us the where in your life. I'll give you an example. For you, Gemini energy is in your 6th house. The 6th house energy means our daily health routines, our daily health habits, our daily work routines, our daily work habits. The 6th house represents the day-to-day things that you do. Right? So you get up in the morning, you eat breakfast, you go to work, or maybe you leave the house and you go and get breakfast at the same spot, or you go and get coffee at the same spot. Do you have a routine set up in your daily, day-to-day activities? It's all about habits. It's all about routine. It's about the people that you meet along the way in those routines. And it's also about animals. Domestic animals. So the pets that you have around, pets in your home, right? Having Gemini energy there, do you talk to pets? Do you talk to animals? Gemini energy in the 6th house is learning something new. Gemini energy is learning a new skill set. You have the North Node transiting through your 6th house. And this is a big deal because the North Node will be in that placement for the following year, all the way till the January of 2022, you're going to have North Node in that 6th house. So what this means is you can expect to constantly be in a place in your mind where you're open to learning new ways of working, where you're learning new skills. Be flexible, be open, because that's what this means when the North Node is transiting an energy. It's, okay, it's all about I'm learning something new. It's learning new ways of communicating, new ways of talking, new ways of speaking, new ways of thinking. Gemini energy is my neighbors, it's social media, it's networking, it's sales, it's digital neighbors, right? It's the internet, but it's also the next door neighbor. Okay, it's also the people in your community. It's barter, it's trade, it's learning how to, be the salesman. about learning something new. So if you haven't been doing social media, which if you have Gemini energy in your 6, yes, you already know how to do that. But there are some people, depending upon the year they were born, where they had this aversion to it, where it was just like, oh God, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. But having the North Node transiting through Gemini, everybody is having to kind of grab a hold of it and say, well, if I don't do this, then I'm being left out. The whole thing came down to, I'll be left, I won't be in the loop. I won't be able to communicate. As a matter of fact, I was on the phone with a friend the other day, and she was talking about how difficult it was to go shopping, and because they were in a pandemic. And she was like, yeah, you go places, some people have a mask, some don't. There's the distance things placed on the floor, so it shows you what 6 feet looks like. Not everybody is following that rule. And so for her, it's become stressful because she is trying to practice safe social distancing, but at the same time realizing that's not happening everywhere. And even though you could be doing it, if the other person's not doing it, it doesn't really matter. That undoes it, right? Because regardless of who's breaking the rules, closer than 6 feet is still closer than 6 feet. I don't have a smartphone, and so I can't order my stuff online. And I'm thinking, well, this is a good time to do it, because if you don't learn to get a smartphone and learn how to navigate a smartphone during a pandemic, you're never going to do it. And so what we come to realize when we step back and we look at the big meaning of events, global events, which is what the pandemic is, it's to help us, believe it or not, right? Like there's always good that comes with that storm. There's always a silver lining. And we never see it while we're in the midst of it. But the thing is, people, we have to change. We have to elevate. We have to be willing to learn something new. And that is this Gemini energy. That's just a small example of learning how to speak digitally, right? And speaking of that, if you're new here, welcome to Allastrology. If you don't have a chart and if you're interested in that, I supply charts to subscribers for free. It's just one of the many benefits you get here. You come in, you have a conversation with me, you go down below, you say, hey G, what's up? I'm new. I'm interested in a chart. The chart doesn't cost you anything, okay? You get a paper chart in your hand. I get it to you digitally. It comes to you in your email. It's not a big deal. I can take quick peeks for you for free. So anytime I'm doing a video and you hear something and you're like, there's something that's tugging on you and it's saying, hey, you should know more about this, or your ears perk up for some reason, just comment to me and say, hey, G, I'm more curious about this. I don't understand this. Whatever it may be, I can take quick looks for free. It's not a big deal. I don't push you to pay or to hire me, right, for a consultation. Obviously, if someone's interested in that, obviously I'm there and we have a different discussion, and it's done on a different platform. That's done at the website. But if you want to communicate with me here under a video and you have a quick question, I can look into it for you, because my passion is for us to make astrology more easily accessible. We're not just the astrologers understand the language of the universe, but where the average man, where the average woman, where the average being understands this is just the language of the universal frequencies, and that it is really meant, it is the knowledge that's coming down, and it's time for man to know and to understand. If you have been here before, thank you for returning. I can't do any of this without you, and I am sincere when I say I appreciate you. So that eclipse energy that I talked about in your 6th house represents a change. That's the part I didn't talk about. It represents a change coming. And because it's a lunar eclipse, it represents an escalation of emotions. It's a full moon eclipse. So a full moon elevates our emotions, and we have a closure on something. We're done with something. What you want to do is realize there might be something that you're saying, okay, I'm done with that. I already learned it, or it's an old skill set I'm putting away because I want to learn something new. And that's what this is. It's a closure on something, and it's basically a making room for the new. Because it's in the 6th house, this could be a job. It could be a job along with a skill set, or maybe you're at a job and you're just leaving a department. It could mean leaving a location, but not just the location. Because I had a job, and in my chart it said, oh yeah, there's going to be a change in the workplace. So it wasn't just like it wasn't that my job changed, but it was the same job, but the job changed physical location. It can be changing a department within a job. The word change is part of this. It's you've already learned this, you're graduating, and you're moving on to the next thing. This could represent, if I'm leaving something behind, if I'm leaving an old skill set behind. A lot of people see it as, okay, I'm going up, so I might be getting a pay raise, there might be a change, so I might be getting a promotion. Now, I want you to also remember this is your health, okay? You've got Gemini energy in your 6th house, and I have to spend a little bit of time talking about this because we have the North Node at 20 degrees. This is very important, and I know I already touched on this in the last Capricorn video, but I'm going to reiterate this. I'm going to repeat it because having the North Node at 20 degrees, we also have the Neptune energy angling it in a way where it's creating stress and tension. Neptune is water. It's also the pandemic energy, okay? And so it's squaring the North Node, which is air. And so Gemini energy and air represents our lungs and our oxygen and our ability to breathe. So when you have the Neptune energy square it, it's respiratory difficulties, okay? So for some people, this could be simple respiratory issues. This could be pneumonia, or this could be COVID. It could be any one of those things, okay? And so what you want to do is just make sure that you're practicing, social distancing, you're wearing a mask, and that you're washing your hands, and your alert is on high, okay, at this time. And I've been asking people to be on alert and to be more aware and to be practicing their best health practices beginning at the end of October, actually, is when this started squaring. And it will continue to square all the way until March of 2021. So knowing this and knowing that you have your lung energy in your 6th house means you have to just be really careful, okay? It doesn't mean that you're going to get it, but it does mean that the inclination, the possibility could be greater for you. Now, when we move to mid-December, there's a lot of things that happen other than there being an eclipse. We also have Jupiter and Saturn moving, right? They're leaving your sign. They're leaving Capricorn energy, and they're going into Aquarius energy. And I'm excited in a way about that because you guys have had such a rough time because you've had Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto all in your 1st house. And this is your body, all the things your body has been going through, okay, and the difficulties because there's been squares and stresses and angles. However, we have Jupiter and Saturn moving into your 2nd house, okay, because that's where your Aquarius energy is, in your 2nd house. Now, your 2nd house is your income. It's your tangible resources. It's what you value. All right, and you value friends. You value group energy because that's what Aquarius energy is. So understanding that when Saturn enters there with Jupiter, there's usually this restriction, okay? There's this feeling of, okay, I can't see my friends now. I have a value of seeing my friends. And all of a sudden, there's this great restriction that comes in because Jupiter likes to add to things. And Saturn represents the restriction and the rules. So you may feel like, okay, I can't even get together with my friends now, or the things that I valued, I can't do. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I first want to go back and touch on the eclipse energy, okay? So this is December 14th. There's an eclipse, and it's at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. 23 degrees of Sagittarius. Now, I'm mentioning this in conjunction to what I already talked about, which was Jupiter and Saturn, because they all happen around the same time. It's literally December 14th to December 15th. So you have an eclipse, and it's in the Sagittarian energy, and this is happening in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is like the past. Some people consider it the karma of your life. It's that which you have put out there. It kind of comes back around, okay? Being in Sagittarius, it's very expansive, but it's also the placement of dreams, okay? And it's very powerful, actually, because it's an eclipse, but it's an eclipse in which we're making wishes on, okay? So what I want you to kind of just hone in on and focus on, which is a really good word for Sagittarius energy, is focus. Focus, focus. That is a Sagittarian word. But Sagittarian also represents my belief systems. It is truth. It is the seeker, okay? The ability to be expansive and to have wisdom. These are all Sagittarian words. And if you have it in your 12th house, it's like you get wisdom downloads that come in and you don't even know how you know things. You just know them. Because the 12th house also represents Christ consciousness. It's like you get information, you just know something, but you don't even know where it's coming from because you're connecting with the universe. You're getting downloads from the universe. And so I like this placement. To have an eclipse here is quite powerful. The thing is, A lot of it is very subconscious. So if it's subconscious, you're not even aware of it. So it's a possibility you get a lot of stuff that goes on in your dreams. You get a lot of information that comes through in your dreams. And if that is the case, you want to be taking notes. You want to be keeping track. Because when we have this sort of an eclipse happening, it's conjunct the galactic center, which is considered the point of source for the galaxy that we live in, right? And that is like, wow, that is like beyond comprehension, beyond human comprehension. And I'm excited about it because Sagittarian energy is very optimistic. It's very futuristic. It's very much of looking forward to my future, making plans for my future. It's all about adding to the good. And so I want you to make your intentions, right? We have our intentions set. We give an intention time, and it's at 10:17 a.m. Central Standard Time for where I live. So whoever you are, wherever you live, all you got to do is adjust for your time zone. If you're confused by anything that I just said, as far as intention time and time zones, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below and I'll just need to find out where you live in the world, and then I'll be able to adjust for you, and I'll tell you what time zone, what time that happens for you. But we give the hour of power, the intention time, because it's when the sun and the moon are right on top of each other exactly. And that is a time when your emotions and your willpower are combined. And that is when we believe that the universe hears our prayer, hears our wishes, hears our intentions most clearly. It's as though we're speaking the language of the universe, right? It's like we're singing the same song and we all are just singing it together. And so there is this harmonization that occurs. And it's a beautiful thing because it's about your future. Okay, it's about your future. And understanding the potency of this, okay, understanding the potency, use the wish to focus around all Sagittarian themes, which is beliefs, which is truth. So that means you're being asked to be open-minded. You may be changing some of your beliefs, like we all are, changing beliefs that could have to do with foreigners, foreign lands, foreign languages, foreign countries, a philosophy in your life. Truth and justice and freedoms. These are all keywords, right? It's higher learning, higher education. Sagittarian energy is about the court system, okay? It's all about legalities, being open-minded and being that seeker. Like once we get to a certain place and we're like, okay, I achieved this or I did this or I believe this, we then can move up and elevate because it's that arrow. It's constantly seeking, right? It gets to somewhere and then it says, okay, so that's done. Now what's the next thing? And the next thing should be not on the same plane. It should somehow be an elevation, right? It should be keeping and climbing, but it climbs through the air, okay? It's not just air that the arrow flies, but it's Sagittarian energy is fire, right? It's immutable fire, meaning it wants to change, right? It wants to have the wiggle room and the freedom to change what its ambitions and goals are. The beautiful thing about Sagittarian energy is it has the ability to stay focused. It has the ability to have the blinders up. And the people, if you've talked or read anything about people who've accomplished unbelievable feats, like they've done great things, right? These things that just seem impossible, these accomplishments. But what you will find out, there are usually a handful of things that are very common amongst each of those people who made those major accomplishments. One of the ingredients, other than perseverance, one of the other ingredients is the ability to stay focused. Because you can have perseverance and you can keep working at it and keep trying. But if you're scattered, right, then it's like you're focused on too many things. It's the ability to hone in and to stay focused, right? And when you stay focused, you can make these accomplishments. And that is the beauty of Sagittarian energy, is to be that racehorse, right? They put the blinders up on that horse. And if they don't have the blinders on, it gets distracted, right? It gets distracted and it gets thrown off course. It doesn't run. It stops and it rears up and it can't win the race. So we put the blinders on and it gives us the ability to hit our goal, to reach our ambition, and to succeed. January is a time when we have Saturn and Jupiter, right? They're coming up and they're together going through your second house of income and money, right? In Aquarian energy. But I have to talk about this in a way where you understand there might be some tension and frustration. Other than feeling this restriction, we're going to have Mars entering the sign of Taurus energy. Okay, Mars enters the sign of Taurus around the 5th of January. What happens is Taurus energy is fixed Earth, and fixed Earth squares up with fixed air. Fixed air is the Aquarian energy. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out where this happens in your life, okay? So the second house, your Aquarius fixed air, is squaring up with your 5th house. Your income, your 2nd house, what you value, your 2nd house, is being tested and stressed by your 5th house. So your 5th house is children, is fun, is joy, is creativity. So if you're not married, right? If you're dating, there's stress and tension. Money and what I value is being stressed and tensed, right? There's this angling that's happening. There's this testing. Mars squares it. Mars throws angles to your money and to what you value. It's not just Mars though, okay? Because it's Mars in that 5th house, it means there could be children in your life that bring you stress. It could be anything that you created that is for some reason giving you stress. Your moments of joy and laughter. Mars being in this place means you're going to want to do these things. You're going to want to have fun. You're going to want to engage in a fun way with your body, right? Because you've got Mars in Taurus. And for a lot of people, when you have Mars in Taurus energy, it's not just being creative, like let's go ahead and let's paint, or let's go ahead and let's cook, right? Mars and Taurus, get in the kitchen, doing things that involve the senses, because that's Taurus energy. Could also be speaking, could be singing. Taurus likes things to be beautiful. That means they should look beautiful, sound beautiful, taste beautiful. It's all about things being pleasant, right? It's all about things being harmonious and peaceful. You wanting to be engaged in those things, but finding out that this angle that's happening with Jupiter over here, like your friends, your 2nd house, the things that you value, it's not jiving. And you can expect this non-jiving feeling for all of the month of January. So the first 2 weeks of January are going to be pretty tense, okay? Because it's going to be like there's this frustration. We have some benefits though, because when Mars squares Jupiter, there could be some great benefits that come. There can be beneficial action, beneficial timing of things. There can be opportunities that come where if you think first, you can have some beneficial things happening for you, okay? There can be, it's almost like good luck, but it's not good luck. It's because you stopped and you thought about it first. You didn't just act. And this is crucial when we have anytime Mars squares Jupiter, all right? Because Jupiter makes Mars really not just ambitious, but way more impulsive. Don't be impulsive. Be the thinker. Don't be impulsive, okay? Now remember, because it's your 5th house, this also involves having a good time with your body. All right, which means having good time with another with your body. Think things through. All right, just think things through. Think about what it is that you want to create / procreate, and understanding that the energies are there. Okay, and so you just want to be the thinker before you are the doer, and realize what the consequences can be. Mars and Saturn now. This is like boss energy, okay? This is Saturn saying, hey, no, you can't do this. And realizing for those first 2 weeks, it's going to be an issue. But after the 2 weeks, Mars is going to have a little bit more wiggle room, and it won't be so stressful. So you have to have patience moving forward. Now, the other thing I wanted to add is that Mars going through the sign of Taurus means your ascendant, Capricorn, is Earth. So this means your body. All of a sudden, you're going to have Mars energy, right? It's all in the earth. All of a sudden, your body is going to be strengthened. If you were having issues with your physical body, all of a sudden, Capricorn, it's going to turn. It's all going to change for you. You're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel physical power, literally. Mars will be trining your ascendant. You will feel strengthened. You will feel as though you can do anything. I want to just give that word of caution, okay? Because Mars will be making you feel that way, just make sure that you're not allowing Mars to push you beyond your physical capacity. All right, that's the only word of caution. Making sure you understand what your limitations are. It doesn't mean don't be physical. It just means know your borders and your boundaries, okay? Know what is good for you in light of everything we've talked about here today. Move forward intelligently. Give Mars a creative beautiful way to express its energy, and it will be very happy. Yes, there will be stress and tension. Likely that means there might be a lack of money, which we are all kind of facing a lack of money come January, right? But we're probably going to be getting some good news from the government. So keep that in mind. There's likely, from what it looks like here to me, there's good news coming. And the good news will be coming by way of a vaccine. The good news can be coming by way of financial assistance. We're going to start hearing talk about that, okay? And so I like the change that we're seeing. Be open-minded, be smart, and together we're going to rise.